I will leave. Even though how long she's holding the leave. I will leave. Before she even starts the words, she's already reinforcing this sigh of hopelessness. So I'm going to run through 4 songs today just to show you how to get emotion in your songs. So one's going to be All I Ask by Adele. The other one's going to be Ed Sheeran, Perfect, Robbie Williams, Angel, and Billie Eilish, What Was I Made For? Because they're all quite different vocalists. So I want to show you how they're creating emotion so that you can create the emotion yourself. Now I'm going to give you 4 tips on these on how to create emotion when you're singing in your voice. And the 4th one's going to be the X Factor, which is that thing that just brings this intangible that you feel when people sing. Okay, so great. So the first point with emotion is that it's a language. It's not the words that you're singing. It's the emotion and the language of what you're doing. So this incorporates loud, soft, whisper. It can be holding the notes so they flow together or being quite staccato. It can be intimacy. It can be aggression. It can be control. And that is verbalized through our voice. So let me give you an example. Let's start with Adele. So this is All I Ask. I want you to hear this first line so you can hear it. And then I'm going to give you exercises on how you can develop that in your voice. All I ask.
I will leave my heart at the door. I won't say a word. They've all been said before, you know.
So we're going to just do that verse to start with. So what I want you to listen for is that there's an So she's starting, I will leave. All those little bits, the movements, are actually creating emotion in us. And so I want you to listen to that again and listen to what she's doing to reinforce the words that aren't the words. Because I can go, I will leave my heart at the door, right? Now it might sound a little bit flat, but I can do it that where it's not flat. I will leave my heart at the door. They're the right notes. But what she's doing, it's the movement and the way she's being strong, gentle. Even the vibrato creates this wistfulness and this desperation of the tugging of what's happening with the words. Let's listen to it again and see if you can hear that.
I will leave.
I will leave. All those are creating emotion, and that's what creates emotion when people are listening to you. Let's try it again. And what I want you to do is pop your ears in like this. And the reason this is so important is when we start to learn emotion, we've got to understand that we need to compare apples to apples. If you want emotion in your voice and you're kind of mimicking your artists, and I'm going to give you examples from Ed Sheeran, from Robbie Williams, and from Billie Eilish so you can get the differences and start to hear it. This takes a while to hear, but once you've got it, you'll start to use it in all songs that you do. It becomes the game changer and your X factor as you apply this. So why it's important to have either your ears in, you would have seen this before in my videos, so we're coning behind the ear and then popping the palm of our hand under our jaw so that we can hear all the resonance that's coming off our face. So try that for me. Make sure you can hear that because this is the game changer. You don't want it closed off like this. You want to hear that resonance. And the reason this is so important is if we're pushing to try and get all this nuance, it then flattens it off. She's not pushing. She's not going, I will leave. She's actually in a microphone intimately singing, I will leave. So if we're pushing and doing it loud, we're not going to get the same emotion. This is delicate. And even for you men, there's going to be a masculinity that still has vulnerability. That's where you get that extra dynamic, that 4th dimension and X factor to your singing is when you can start to reproduce this. And I'll give you some examples later. So let's do that again together. I will leave. I will leave. Even though how long she's holding the leave. I will leave. Beautiful. Now let's listen to the second line.
I won't say a word.
I won't say a word.
They've all been said before you.
Before you know. So even that before is like this desperation and then almost like the wistfulness of, you know. So that's quite powerful, isn't it? Now let's have a quick listen to how Ed Sheeran does it.
I found a love.
So there's more of a masculinity in that, I found a love. So he's being resolute in the way he's singing, but there's still a lot of emotion going on in that. Listen to that again.
I found a love for me.
Me. So there's loud and soft happening in there.
Darling, just dive right in. Follow my lead.
So it's a different kind of song, right? This message is this excited, he's found this beautiful woman, we're set for life. The other one's desperation and loss. This one is resolute, a confident man that's not being aggressive, but it's going, babe, I got us. And the tone reflects that. It's beautiful because it's masculine, but it's also leading.
I found a
Girl. Throwing that away.
beautiful and sweet.
Beautiful and sweet. So it's got that.
Well, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love.
So even the music's going, fell in love. So he's telling a story. So you can feel there's a different dynamic there. Let's have a listen to Robbie Williams. Different kind of song, right? Angels. So let's have a quick listen to that last line of the verse into the chorus. Have a listen to what his voice is saying.
I'm loving angels instead. And through it all, she offers me protection.
So different. Now what he's doing in I'm loving angels instead, he does that area at the end, that wistful, and then through it all. So that big victorious thing. So there's that pulling around, but obviously different because of where his voice sits. For the first 30 years of my life, I couldn't hit the high notes. I couldn't talk properly. I'd go to sing and it would just disappear. I found love. So I know personally what it's like to have those frustrations when you can't sing the songs you love. So there's ways you can do that, but they're opposite to what you think.
Now I'm done believing you.
Where the placement is for those notes, how to not squeeze, lose air, all those sorts of things. And from the first session with me, you're going to start to notice a difference. Hi, I'm Angie. I've got masterclasses that will help you sing the songs you love, total freedom. And I can't wait to help you. Now let's have a look at Billie Eilish. Now Billie Eilish is amazing. She actually put out a post recently talking about how when she had to create this song, What Was I Made For? It was so different and the most challenging song she'd ever learnt because she had to get that wistful question and that gentleness around her voice, and she'd always had much stronger, powerful vocals, but she had to learn how to create a sound within her voice to reinforce the message and this question around the song and the lyric. Let's have a little listen. Now, can I even say just that, before she even starts the words, she's already reinforcing, this sigh of hopelessness or wonder. These things are powerful. And you'll hear it even in Never Enough. She does this in the first couple of lines. I'm trying to hold my breath. Let it stay this way. Those reinforcements are beyond the words to reinforce the feeling. Now let's have a little listen. So she hasn't even started and we're hearing a sigh. Listen to that again. This is Billie Eilish, What Was I Made For? That can you hear that?
I used to float.
straight away. Totally different Angels from Robbie Williams, right? Oh, we can't sing every song the same. How do we reinforce that emotion? Now, this might sound huge, but actually once you break down a song and start to feel those things, it's like an exercise. You're learning to create variation and new shape in your voice that is starting to articulate emotion, and you don't feel it. It's like learning to paint or learning a new language. You're going to have these different tools in your toolbox to create emotion and draw people in. This is where we get that X factor, that emotion that goes beyond. Now let's listen to it again with her voice.
I used to float, now I just fall down.
Fall down. Even the movement of that fall is falling. Isn't that incredible? You'll listen to songs differently, but take the time to really just start to absorb and learn that language of emotion in song. Now that whole thing of singing like, I used to float, is a totally different muscle combination to, I used to float. Now both are the same, expressing a different thing. I used to float. And you'll find much better with the softer ones. I used to float, now I just fall down. All those nuances, isn't that a game changer? And then with a lot of these songs, we get to the chorus like, all I ask is if this is my last night with you. All that loud and soft starts to create that desperation and the vulnerability. Game changer, huh? Now the X factor for all of that is make sure your ears are in, because it takes you to a whole other level. When you're starting to sing like this, your emotion, you'll hit the goal of emotion in your song where you're touching people a year quicker if you practice like this. That is your X factor with all of this. And grab 3 or 4 songs and start to learn the language within the different varieties of the song, the message, the artist. And you'll start to find your unique emotion will come out of that. But the X factor is you don't have to feel it. You are learning a language in how to create wistfulness. That desperation is going to change and reform, totally revolutionize your singing. Now, please ask me questions. What was it out of today's that really clicked for you? And you might have to roll it 5 to 10 times. What clicked for you? Pop it in the comments. Ask us questions. Jump over if you want to learn exercises around how to build the muscles, because it is a different muscle combination for each soft, loud, highs, lows, that emotion and wistfulness. But learn it like a language and it's going to change your life and give you emotion when you sing. Hopefully you've loved this content, and we have so much more because we want to help you unlock your singing voice. So feel free to subscribe, like, comment, and we've got lots of content. There's a course you can jump into that we've made really affordable so you can learn the steps to unlock your singing and your voice, or you can book me one-on-one if you need that clarity and the direction to unlock faster. Either way, can't wait to see you in the next video.